Imagine precision at 200 miles per hour, daring drivers fighting for every inch, and dramatic moments that leave fans breathless. This isn't just Formula One racing, this is where champions are made. But what makes an overtake unforgettable? Well, welcome to DRS Speed Hunters. And in today's video, we'll look at the most exciting moments of the 2024 Formula One season, the 10 best overtakes that left the audience breathless. From Bahrain to Abu Dhabi, these drivers showed why Formula One is still the best in motorsport. Number 10. Max Verstappen vs. Esteban Ocon in the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Max Verstappen delivered one of his greatest performances, climbing from 17th on the grid to win the Sao Paulo Grand Prix in treacherous rain-soaked conditions. The Dutchman's victory not only showcased his mastery in wet weather, but also brought him closer to a fourth world title, with rival Lando Norris finishing 6th and trailing by 62 points with just 3 races remaining. Now, the chaotic race included crashes, safety car periods, and a red flag, all intensifying as rain fell. Verstappen laid calm while overtaking each driver on the grid, until there was just one left. At the restart, he overtook Esteban Ocon to seize the lead and pull away, winning by a dominant 19.5 seconds. Alpine drivers Ocon and Pierre Gasly claimed 2nd and 3rd, a much-needed boost for their team, moving them up to 6th in the constructors' standings. Meanwhile, Norris' slim title hopes faded after errors dropped him to 6th. Mercedes' George Russell narrowly missed the podium, and Lewis Hamilton managed only 10th after a challenging weekend. But despite the chaos, Verstappen's clinical drive was a testament to his brilliance and Red Bull's flawless strategy. Number 9. Alex Albin vs. Daniel Ricciardo and Esteban Ocon in the Canadian Grand Prix. The Canadian Grand Prix was a wet affair that tested the courage and skill of all the racers. It was the perfect chance for Alex Albin, and he took it with both hands. In position 11, Albin was already in dangerous situations that require good reactions and fast thinking. During the last moments of the race, Albin was behind Daniel Ricciardo and Esteban Ocon on a wet straight. Lack of visibility would have definitely made most of the drivers think twice before overtaking, but not Albin. He first tried to overtake Ricciardo, going side by side with him, an extremely risky maneuver in Formula One. As if that wasn't enough, Albin quickly seized the chance at the chicane, outbraking Ocon to take another position. It was breathtaking to see control, bravery, and such tactical mastery of 2 cars overtaking on a wet track in one move. However, this race didn't end as planned for Albin. In the last couple of laps, he clashed with Carlos Sainz, who made him pull out of the race. But overtaking 2 cars in one turn was one of the best moments of the year. Number 8. Oscar Piastri vs. Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, Singapore Grand Prix. In the warm lights of Singapore's Marina Bay circuit, Oscar Piastri put on a show to remember. The Australian rookie has been one of the season's shining lights, and his double overtake of 2 Mercedes drivers solidifies his potential as a future champ. In P5, Piastri settled for a long-run approach, looking after his tires during the race. However, waiting became active when the race progressed to the final laps. Piastri started making his first move on lap 40. In turn 7, he made an impressive move, overtaking Lewis Hamilton's car on the inside to grab P4. It was efficient and precise. It was like everything you would expect from a Class A driver. But Piastri wasn't finished, and just 5 laps later, on the same turn 7, he repeated the maneuver on George Russell. To overtake 2 of the good drivers of the sport in the same style within 2 corners was simply extraordinary. Number 7. Franco Colapinto vs. Alex Albon, Carlos Sainz, and Yuki Tsunoda, Singapore Grand Prix. The Singapore Grand Prix was a testing ground for a new face, Franco Colapinto, and he was impressive. From 12th position on the grid, Colapinto performed one of the most daring overtakes of the year, a triple maneuver. The first turn at Marina Bay is one of the narrow and challenging turns throughout the circuit, but Colapinto found his chance in the danger. Just as it got dark, he overtook Albon, Sainz, and Tsunoda in one cornering turn. The raw nerve of this overtaking move and the accuracy left fans, commentators, and fellow competitors amazed. What made this move special for Colapinto was that he was able to anticipate this race like a true pro. He made the kind of decision that most rookies wouldn't even attempt in one move. On a circuit where mistakes come at a high price, Colapinto's courage paid off, earning him the respect of his competitors right from the start. Sergio Perez later noted that Colapinto's racecraft was excellent, adding that the rookie did not show any signs of pressure during the race. It's rare that a rookie would pull off something like that, but Colapinto's triple overtake signaled his arrival in Formula One. Number 6. Lando Norris vs. Max Verstappen, Dutch Grand Prix. The Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort was one of the most thrilling races of the 2024 season. Lando Norris raced against Max Verstappen in front of the audience. The race proved that Norris was getting better and that McLaren was improving as the year went on. Norris began the race from the pole after a brilliant qualifying session in which he was 0.3 quicker than Verstappen. But when the lights went off, a bad start from Norris let Verstappen take the lead with his stunning lightning-fast getaway. Some thought that Verstappen would pull away from Norris, but he had other ideas. For the next 18 laps, Norris was able to stay within 1 second of Verstappen, although his lead never went below 1.5 seconds. Then, on the 18th lap, he decided to make his move. With McLaren having a faster car and DRS on hand, Norris easily overtook Verstappen on the straight at the start of the final lap. It was clean, decisive, and dominating in every sense of the word. That was followed by a race management masterclass. When he was leading, Norris gradually increased his advantage, getting closer to half a second per lap. When the checkered flag was waved, he had bagged his first pole to win with a margin of 22 seconds. Number 5. Lando Norris vs. Max Verstappen, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Street circuits are always fan favorites, and the Baku circuit was no different in the 2024 edition of the Azerbaijan GP. Lando Norris had a tough task, starting the race in 15th on the grid. However, during the race, Norris delivered an outstanding performance, capped off by an incredible overtaking move on Max Verstappen. Norris's run through the track was a clear indication of what a determined and talented man he is. Prior to the last lap, he fought his way to be in a position to challenge for the 6th spot with Verstappen in front of him. What made this moment so thrilling was the fact that he was under a lot of pressure. Verstappen was a great defender, trying to keep Norris behind him, but Norris was not going to be denied. In the final 2 laps, Norris executed his move perfectly. Staying true to tradition, he used the DRS to close the gap and then attempted a cut-under maneuver at a tricky braking zone. It was a very calculated move, and there was no way that Verstappen could have reacted or tried to get his place back. Shortly after, an incident at the front between Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz allowed Norris to take 4th. From P15 to P4, it was a drive characterized by strategy and talent. This overtake was not just about escalating to a better position, it was a turning point of Norris' season, showing that he can perform when it matters and excel in the most challenging tracks. Number 4. Carlos Sainz vs. Max Verstappen, Mexico City Grand Prix. The Mexico City Grand Prix was one of the most intense races of the season, with Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen battling for the top spots. Starting from first place, Sainz appeared to be in a perfect position to win. However, Verstappen had other plans, as he overtook his rival before the completion of the first lap. Sainz stayed behind Verstappen for the next 8 laps, waiting for the right opportunity to overtake. That moment came on lap 9 when they were approaching turn 1. Sainz tried to overtake, going deep into the last lap and aggressively applying the brakes in a bid to regain the lead. What made this overtake so remarkable was the perfection in which it was executed. The first turn of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez is a very long braking zone, which always has a high probability of a mistake. But Sainz did it perfectly, and Verstappen, he had no option but to give way to Sainz. It wasn't just a pass, it was a demonstration of racing skill that stated a very clear message. Carlos, he came to compete. Number 3, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, Las Vegas Grand Prix. Now, the Las Vegas Grand Prix was a night race with all the glamour of the Vegas Strip. In the midst of the circus, Lewis Hamilton put in a classic display of why he is still one of the all-time greats in Formula One. From P10 at the start, Hamilton had his job cut out for him, but by lap 32, he was chasing none other than Max Verstappen for the P3. Now, as they approached a sequence of corners, Hamilton, on fresher tires, prepared for his move at the perfect moment. He moved ahead of Verstappen with the help of DRS, a move that was as clean as it was decisive. The speed and accuracy that Hamilton showed were of the best years, which delighted the fans and impressed the experts. But Hamilton, he wasn't done. After overtaking Verstappen, he gained another position when Charles Leclerc pitted, bringing him closer to a potential Mercedes 1-2 finish. But despite his old tires and being unable to challenge George Russell for the win, Hamilton's performance from P10 to P2 was simply brilliant. Number 2, Carlos Sainz vs. Charles Leclerc, George Russell, and Lando Norris in the Austin Sprint. The Austin Sprint race was one of Carlos Sainz's best drives of the 2024 season. Starting from P5, Sainz wasted no time moving up the track, quickly advancing to the points-paying positions. His first battle was with teammate Charles Leclerc, during which the two Ferrari drivers changed positions several times before Sainz won. Now, Russell was the next one on his list of targets. On lap 9, Sainz did a classic overtake on the Mercedes driver at turn 12, outbraking him with style. However, the highlight of the show was in the last few laps when he targeted Lando. On the last lap, Norris, under pressure, committed a mistake and locked up at turn 1. Sainz, while being in third position, saw the opportunity and overtook Lando. This move placed him in second place. Lando Norris produced what many believe to be the move of the season at Suzuka's famous turn 1. In P5, Norris was right next to Lewis Hamilton as the race began. Most drivers would have opted for a conservative approach, but Norris chose a risky line on the outside. Suzuka has a high-speed right turn 1 that's downhill. The level of grip, it's always uncertain, and mistakes are always very expensive. However, Norris didn't crack under pressure. He had a lot of speed and went side by side with Hamilton, passing him with a move that was as bold as it was clean. This overtake was not only about the place, it was a statement of intent. McLaren's upgrades had provided Norris with the means to go wheel to wheel with the best, and he made the most of it. The move left fans amazed. It was a moment that reflected what Formula One really is all about: courage, talent, and the determination to win. These top 10 overtakes are a good reason to remember why Formula One is the highest level of racing in the world. Every shift was an example of drivers' talent, courage, and tenacity. What's been your favorite overtake moment of the 2024 season? Well, let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in the next video.